Carlos Alcaraz is gearing up for the 2025 Australian Open, and boy, is he bringing some serious swagger to Melbourne. The kid from Murcia, now a global tennis superstar, isn't just playing tennis. He's channeling his inner Rafael Nadal in a way that screams, "I'm here to dominate." Let's break it down, because this story has everything. Drama, fashion statements, luxurious digs, and, of course, the promise of jaw-dropping tennis. First off, let's talk about the outfit. Alcaraz is stepping onto the court rocking sleeveless Nike shirts, a direct nod to Rafa Nadal's iconic early look. You know, back when Nadal was smashing forehands and flexing biceps like a gladiator who just stumbled into a tennis court. It's a bold choice. And let's face it, not everyone can pull it off without looking like a wannabe gym bro. But Carlitos? He's got the guns for it. After a grueling preseason of pumping iron and perfecting his game, the guy's muscles are basically asking for their own Instagram account. But wait, there's more. Alcaraz isn't just copying Rafa's wardrobe. He's gone full-on tribute act by booking himself into the Crown Towers, the same plush hotel Nadal has called home during his Melbourne campaigns. This place is no budget motel. We're talking luxury suites, rooftop pools, and enough five-star amenities to make even Federer nod in approval. If you're gonna aim for greatness, might as well start with the accommodations, right? Now, let's get to the tennis. After a blockbuster 2024 season where Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner turned the ATP Tour into their personal battleground, the stakes are higher than ever. These two have been duking it out like it's a real-life tennis anime. Dramatic matches, insane comebacks, and enough tension to make even the ball boys nervous. With Sinner holding the top seed and Carlitos at number 3, the potential for a showdown is looming large. And let's not forget Alexander Zverev, who handed Alcaraz a stinging defeat last year. If they meet again, you can bet Carlitos will be swinging for revenge. Before the main event, Alcaraz is set to warm up with a couple of exhibition matches against local heavyweights Alex de Minaur and Alexei Popyrin. These aren't just casual hit-arounds. They're tactical battles to fine-tune his game and get a feel for Melbourne's hard courts. Plus, they're the perfect excuse for Alcaraz to flex, literally and figuratively, in that sleeveless Nike gear. Now, let's talk expectations. The guy's carrying a ton of pressure as one of the tournament favorites, and his performance here could set the tone for the entire season. Fans are already buzzing about his chances, with some practically writing sonnets about his power, agility, and ability to channel that Nadal-esque grit when the chips are down. Sure, he's got the skills, but does he have the mental fortitude to keep it together when the lights are the brightest? Spoiler alert, we're about to find out. And let's not gloss over the fact that Alcaraz hasn't always had the best luck with sleeveless shirts. Call it a fashion curse or just bad timing, but his previous outings in the look haven't exactly ended with trophies. This time, though, he seems more comfortable in his skin and his kit. Maybe it's the extra work in the gym. Maybe it's the confidence that comes with being a certified tennis badass. Either way, he's ready to make sleeveless history. With the draw set to be announced soon, all eyes are on who Alcaraz will face in the early rounds. A clash with Sinner in the semi-finals? A rematch with Zverev? The possibilities are enough to make any tennis fan salivate. One thing's for sure, whether he's smashing forehands, flexing his biceps, or lounging at the Crown Towers, Carlos Alcaraz is here to remind the tennis world that he's not just the future. He's the freaking present. Buckle up, Melbourne. It's gonna be a wild ride. Carlos Alcaraz is shaking things up for the 2025 Australian Open, and man, this kid is pulling out all the stops to make sure he's not just another contender. He's the contender. The Mercian phenom, backed by a team of tennis masterminds, has decided it's time to tweak his game yet again, proving that even the best in the world aren't above a bit of fine-tuning. And yeah, we're talking about those kinds of tiny changes that make regular people go, seriously? That matters. But in the high-stakes world of tennis, it's the difference between lifting a Grand Slam trophy and watching someone else do it. So, what's the deal this time? Well, if you thought Carlitos was just cruising along with his Wimbledon titles and jaw-dropping forehands, think again. His team, led by the tennis sage himself, Juan Ferrero, has been busy obsessing over every little detail, like mad scientists in a tennis lab. Back in the day, Alcaraz's serve was, let's be honest, kinda meh. It wasn't exactly the cannonball serve you'd expect from a guy who's otherwise tearing up the court. Sure, his raw talent made up for it, but his serve was more of a polite handshake than a knockout punch. Fast forward to now, and we're looking at a serve that's gone through more makeovers than a reality TV contestant. In 2021, the kid had a swing so long you could have gone to grab a snack and come back before he hit the ball. Then Ferrero trimmed it down to 2 motions, then 1, and now it's practically non-existent. Just a fluid, dynamic snap that's all about speed, power, and consistency. Think of it as the tennis equivalent of upgrading from a flip phone to the latest iPhone. But Ferrero isn't stopping there. Oh no, he's taking it to the next level. During the preseason, Alcaraz was spotted fiddling with different rackets, experimenting with weights in the neck area like some tennis alchemist. The result? A sleek new setup with an extra 5 grams added to his racket. 5 grams. That's like the weight of a couple of paper clips, right? Sounds like nothing, but in the hyper-precise world of elite tennis, it's a freaking game changer. Here's the thing. Alcaraz's racket is already one of the lightest on the tour. At 308 grams unstrung, and about 330 grams once you slap on the strings and grip, it's like the featherweight champion of rackets. This bad boy gives him insane maneuverability, letting him whip up shots that make his opponents look like they're stuck in molasses. But that extra 5 grams? That's where the magic happens. It adds a bit more punch to his shots without sacrificing control, giving him an edge in those brutal baseline battles. It's like strapping a jet engine to a go-kart, still nimble, but now it's packing some serious heat. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Alcaraz has leveled up his gear. Every tweak his team makes is part of a bigger plan to keep him ahead of the pack. Winning 4 Grand Slam titles by the age of 21 isn't just about raw talent. It's about constant evolution. His serve, once a liability, is now a weapon. His racket, once just a tool, is now a precision instrument fine-tuned for destruction. It's like watching a superhero upgrade their suit. Only instead of saving the world, he's out here smashing tennis balls and breaking opponents' spirits. So, as Alcaraz heads into the Australian Open with his revamped racket and souped-up serve, one thing is crystal clear. This kid isn't playing around. He's here to make a statement, and if you're not paying attention, he's going to make sure you remember his name the hard way, by sending you packing in straight sets. Melbourne, buckle the hell up. Carlitos 2.0 is coming, and he's not messing around. Carlos Alcaraz is stepping up his game, literally and figuratively, with a sneaky little upgrade to his racket that's about to turn his offensive play into a goddamn nightmare for his opponents. And let me tell you, those extra 5 grams of weight might sound like peanuts to us mere mortals, but in the world of tennis, it's like adding nitro fuel to a sports car. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a full-blown tactical shift that could reshape his game at the 2025 Australian Open. So, what's the deal with these 5 grams? They're not just sprinkled on like fairy dust. They're added using lead strips strategically placed on the inside of the racket. Imagine the racket face as a clock. These weights can go at 12, 3, 6, or 9 o'clock, depending on what kind of wizardry you're trying to pull off. In Alcaraz's case, his team has gone for a balance point of 32 centimeters, which basically means the weight sits closer to the neck of the racket. Why? To give him more control at the net and let him slam those winners up close, all while adding enough oomph from the baseline to send his rivals scrambling. With this setup, Carlitos is gearing up to make his shots hit harder, spin nastier, and move faster. It's all about creating a racket that's not just a weapon, but a freaking lightsaber for his style of play. The extra weight will give his serve a little more kick, help him dominate from the baseline, and crank up the pressure on returns. In short, he's about to play like a caffeinated T-Rex with a racket. But here's the catch, this isn't plug-and-play. Alcaraz will have to put in a ridiculous amount of hours on the court to get the feel of this new beast. Adding weight changes the sweet spot of the racket, that magical zone where the ball does exactly what you want. If he doesn't adapt fast and hit the sweet spot consistently, those balls could start flying out of bounds like drunken pigeons. And in tennis, there's no room for sloppy execution, especially at the top level. The trade-off here is a delicate one. When you add power, you lose a bit of control, and vice versa. It's like trying to build a Formula One car that's both insanely fast and can take corners like a dream, a near impossible balance. But Alcaraz's team, now including the sharp-eyed Samu López, believes he's the guy who can pull it off. They're banking on his freakishly accurate ball-striking ability to make this adjustment seamless. If anyone can turn this minor adjustment into a major advantage, it's Carlitos. And let's not forget the stakes here. Alcaraz isn't just gunning for another slam. He's chasing history. If he wins in Melbourne, he'll become the youngest player ever to clinch all 4 Grand Slams, doing so at 21 years and 8 months old. And if he doesn't bag the trophy this time around? No biggie. He's still got a shot to break the record in 2026. Either way, the kid's got his eyes on the prize, and he's not taking prisoners. On January 4th, Alcaraz will board a plane to Melbourne with one goal: to make history. He's bringing his A-game, his shiny new racket, and the kind of determination that could probably bend steel. This isn't just about winning matches. It's about cementing his legacy as one of the greatest young talents tennis has ever seen. If you're into tennis, this is the kind of stuff you don't want to miss. And if you've enjoyed this little breakdown of Alcaraz's latest move, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join us here at Tennis Extra. We're all about bringing you top-notch analysis, exclusive interviews, and the kind of in-depth coverage that'll make you the smartest tennis fan in the room. So stick with us. The 2025 season is just getting started, and it's gonna be a wild ride.